Well, thanks for getting everybody warmed up. 2 out of 3, not bad. That was pretty impressive. It's a real pleasure to be here this morning. As introduced, I'm representing IBM. I did want to start with a quick question. Actually, it's more of an answer than a question. So the answer is 10 billion. Anyone have a guess what that might be the answer to? And you're disqualified, so I know he knows. 10 billion. Any guesses? People adopting the cloud. Good guess. I think that number is actually probably much bigger, as it turns out. Cloud adoption is going very rapidly. But I'll kill the suspense. 10 billion is actually what IBM, my company, had in cloud revenues last year. This year, moving forward, I think Amazon just published in a recent article that they're predicting they'll do 10 billion this next year. So granted, all of that 10 billion that we provide as cloud is not all public cloud like Amazon's, but it reflects where we are, I think, fairly quietly in this cloud market, playing really at scale. Next question, 105. Next answer, excuse me. What's the question? It's not cloud users. Fortunately, we're well beyond that. 105, that's how old IBM is. It's pretty old, 105 years. I just joined IBM about a year ago as part of really driving the cloud business into the 21st century. And that was a startling number. But really what had occurred to me in that number is that if you're 105 years old, it means you know how to reinvent yourself, right? And over 105 years, IBM has continued to build a business, drive that business into the market, and then reinvent itself for the next chapter. And unequivocally, that's what we're doing right now. And based on the previous answer I gave, we're actually making really, really good progress. Last question, does anyone see the Masters this weekend? Okay, if you saw the Masters, then you know what I'm going to talk about, okay? And it's not choking in the last round. It's not shooting a 7 on a par 3. It's not what we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about the commercials, right? IBM was a sponsor, again, of Masters, and we ran commercials throughout. They became a little monotonous, but they had 2 themes, right? And so if you happen to catch any of those, you'll have a sense of what my themes are. And these really represent the strategy of IBM in 2016. Theme number 1 was Watson. Watson is our artificial intelligence platform. We refer to it as cognitive computing. Huge emphasis, right? And we really are a leader in that space, and I'll talk about how it's really coming to the common enterprise and the common man, if you will. And then the other key theme, of course, is cloud, right? If you hear our CEO talk, the strategy is 2 things. It's cognitive around Watson and our cloud platform, which I'll talk about as we go through here. And let me start a little bit with our point of view. I'll take you through our portfolio, and then hopefully give you a sense of what the opportunities are for you as partners and potential partners. So cloud is not tactical. It started tactical. It was kind of like, hey, let's get a couple of these servers out from under my desk, out of the closet, and let's get them into the cloud. Save a little bit of money, save a little CapEx, turn into OpEx. All those things are still true, right? You can save some money, you can gain some focus, but it's very much a strategic play. And it's really about all the disruption that we see, right? Whether you're Borders Books, or whether you're the local taxi company being disrupted by Uber. And the stories, as you know, go on and on, right? This stat is pretty startling. 1/3 of the top companies in any space are going to be disrupted in the next couple of years, right? This is a fascinating time to be in the IT space and to be bringing these solutions to customers, because you're not talking about saving a few bucks to get the server out from under your feet. You're really talking about giving your customers a platform to innovate and compete and stay alive in the 21st century. And that's how we as IBM see it. It's about delivering this business value, working with our clients and mutual clients to help them drive their businesses forward and not be disrupted. In fact, be the disruptor. Right? So big strategic business value focus. Now the cloud, as you may have also seen in the last couple of years, has become a bit of a kitchen sink. And if you look at the cloud platforms from IBM and from Microsoft, Amazon, and others, you'll see, wow, there's this incredible portfolio and catalog of offerings, right? And really, what Gartner describes is that cloud is at this, quote, nexus of forces. And it's the fact that there's so many fascinating and powerful things that are happening at the same time in technology, which is why this isn't tactical, why this really is about creating a new platform for innovation, which is really what you need to harness to compete in the 21st century, right? And it's everything from the evolution of the internet becoming a social and mobile phenomenon, data and analytics, of course. The fact that it's not just mainframes or PCs that are connected to the network, but every device and thing in your home is connected to the network. And then finally, this notion of going from programming things to having smart things, artificial intelligence and cognitive, right? And all of those things are coming together and are inseparable from this notion of cloud, right? And this platform that we have pulled together and will continue to drive is about enabling that innovation for our mutual clients. So as folks move forward and adopt cloud, and they are doing it very rapidly, didn't spend much time on the charts of, gosh, how adopted is cloud, because it's self-evident at this point, right? It's growing at such a rapid pace, and hopefully you see that in your clients. And what we see when we talk to our clients is they're dealing with a series of challenges and figuring out how to take advantage of the cloud. First of all, they know they have to move fast, right? So they're in this, and sometimes it's kind of a panic mode. Gosh, I got to move. What do I do? How do I go quickly, right? But they have to figure out how to move more quickly in ways they haven't before. How do you do that without losing control of your data, control of your processes, right? How do I do this at scale? We often work with very large companies, right? And they're often, God, I got to do this at scale. I'm a multinational company, right? I'm dealing with billions of consumers. How do I scale for those needs? How do I build this new model of innovation that we call Agile and DevOps? And related to that is skills, right? I need help. When I tell the clients, they're very often saying, I need help. And that's really an opportunity for all of us. The way we think about that at IBM Cloud is that we're here to help solve those problems for these customers. If they're going to be the disruptors and not the disrupted, they need to get over these pain points. So some of the key themes that we'll talk about that drive our cloud, which we think are very different from what drives some of the other clouds, is number one, this notion of hybrid. Okay, and we'll talk more about how that's actually an enabler for speed. Security, of course, as a critical inhibitor and an opportunity in the cloud. The idea of being able to deliver truly global solutions. Analytics. IBM is a leader in analytics, continuing to drive there, critical. Analytics is the underpinning of creating these innovative applications. And finally, the customers I talk to don't want another bucket of bolts. They don't want to go to a website and see 1,000 things they could do. What they want is a business solution. They want a partner who can help bring that solution to bear and an ecosystem of partners who are focused on creating business value. And that's really the hallmark of IBM and what differentiates, in part, our cloud solutions. So let me hit on some of those key points. Hybrid. I think we've all been probably through this many, many times, but the way we think about it, just for grounding, is just like in today's world, there's going to be heterogeneity. There's going to be different things that happen in different places for different reasons. There's going to be multiple clouds. There's not going to be one gigantic cloud. Clients I talk to are often going to multiple clouds, right? Because some clouds are better at things than others, okay? And there's a reason to keep things on premise. There's a reason to put things in privates. So as Gartner has predicted, and we're seeing in the real world, cloud is a hybrid and heterogeneous phenomenon. And so why is that? I hit on some of these points, but just to emphasize. Hybrid actually is often the way to go fastest, because it's about changing only what needs to change. That's what hybrid says. If you have a workload that's working fine, why take it to the cloud if it's working as is? If you have a tool set that you are working with, and it might not be the cloudiest tool set in the world, but it's working and can help us move forward and capture value, let's not change that. Okay? Compliance obviously drives the reason why hybrid environments exist. And then choice, meaning there are just things that are better fits for different parts of this new landscape. Okay? And but I think that message is, again, just a critical part of our message to our clients, which they respect, which is it's not a one-size-fits-all. It's not my way or the highway. We have a strong point of view and a strong set of solutions, but we work to figure out what makes most sense for our client, and that's why this notion of hybrid is the dominant way that people are consuming cloud. And this, of course, has been a focus of ours, and we've become widely recognized as the leader in this approach. Okay? If you think about what's happened over the last year, it's really not unlike the Final Four in basketball that we just went through. It's kind of down to 4 key big players. Okay? And we are clearly among those 4 big players who are playing at global scale in the cloud, and hybrid is a key part of who we are. One of the announcements that we made earlier this year was furthering really a 10-year relationship we've had with VMware, and really as an embodiment of this notion of hybrid. There's a number of folks who here have worked with VMware and their clients, right? Of course, it's ubiquitous. It's been a phenomenal tool, right? And it can help us into this cloud era, and we can bring the benefits of cloud to VMware environments, right? Without having to change everything, without even having to change the person you might be selling to, without having them have to change and build a whole new set of skills and a whole new way of buying and a whole new set of considerations that aren't necessary. So we're working with VMware to make it really seamless, to take these on-prem environments and have them spill securely and seamlessly into the cloud from your same console, right? And in the same buying mode for really critical use cases, whether it be dev and test or disaster recovery or just capacity expansion. And so, really important part of our hybrid portfolio. And we think in this community, a real opportunity to go to our joint customers, go to our customers, and allow them to evolve to the cloud rather than a forklift upgrade. And this is really the message that we tie to our hybrid approach, which is choice with consistency. You can't do everything, but we're going to allow you to have greater choice and to do so in a consistent way. So let me talk a bit about our cloud portfolio and some of the other pieces. The IBM Cloud portfolio is actually very large, so it's difficult at times to try to condense it down into something that a mere mortal, could understand. And in this diagram, what we have is on the left-hand side is really what you'd think of as pure cloud native. Okay? And in infrastructure as a service, we have a branded set of offerings that are called SoftLayer, based on a company we acquired several years ago. In the platform as a service or developer services, IBM Bluemix is our platform as a service for building next generation applications. Watson also, artificial intelligence APIs exposed through Bluemix. We have over 100 SaaS properties, in fact, 142 at last count. Okay? I think Verse is one of those, which is in the Odin system today. We have SoftLayer also in the Odin system today, and we want to continue to take these cloud-native properties and make them more and more accessible to the channel in this ecosystem. Now, IBM has an incredible heritage, okay? And that's this whole suite of products that are widely deployed globally that are labeled cloud-enabled. And what we've done is, whether it's DB2 or WebSphere or Tivoli, these products have all now learned how to speak cloud and how to connect to cloud. Okay? Now, we're not going to represent them as being pure cloud, because they're not, but they're very cloud aware, and we have a whole series of connectors and things we've put in the middle to help companies really on this hybrid journey. Okay? And that's the hybrid integration, security, and management. Enterprises who have these hybrid environments need a way to manage across their existing assets and their net new innovative assets here on your right-hand side. Okay? So that's a way to take simply and look at our portfolio. As a partner, it creates a number of opportunities. You can come in and have a conversation about how to create value from existing assets. You can start on the right-hand side to have a net new innovation conversation, and it creates tremendous opportunities in clients. So let me drill down a bit more on the cloud platform itself. As I said, SoftLayer is our infrastructure as a service. Bluemix is the platform as a service, and it has a whole catalog of developer services, over 150 services in that catalog. Okay? And that includes Watson, building mobile apps, Internet of Things, DevOps, big data analytics, streaming analytics, integration, databases, runtimes. And consistent with this theme of choice with consistency, we give you a couple different ways to build applications, because what we have found in the real world is that people want a choice in how they build and construct and deploy their applications. Right? One of the interesting factoids about Bluemix is we have 20,000 new developers signing up a week. Right? If you extrapolate that over the course of the year, it's over 1 million developers a week, new developers on this platform. So it's got incredible momentum and critical mass, and is doing very well. At the infrastructure level, we have this strategy of allowing you to bring the cloud locally and running it as a private cloud, which we call local, or you can run it in a multi-tenant public cloud instance, okay, which we call public, or you can run it in a mode that's in between, which is a dedicated instance in our public cloud, which we call dedicated. That choice, with the same consistent set of services and APIs and management, is something that we see enterprises being very, very interested in, and it's helping drive our adoption and helps create a lot of opportunities for the ecosystem. Drilling a bit on the notion of global, we have a different strategy around our cloud infrastructure. As opposed to a few large sites distributed globally, we've actually built data centers, over 40 of them globally, distributed in more countries than any other tier 1 cloud provider. And what that allows us to do is to put data closer to the end user, which helps with performance, but also increasingly compliance issues and data sovereignty, which outside of the US in particular is a massive concern. We have a very differentiated approach to our network in order to ensure the lowest latency and most consistent performance for mission-critical cloud applications, okay, and ways consistent with this notion of hybrid, of connecting those data centers in a very performant way to the enterprise networks. And as a factoid to take away, one of the things that the third parties have done is studied what are the fastest clouds out there. Right? And for the second year in a row, we've been highlighted as being 3 times faster than Amazon. Right? So if you're working on a distributed global application, one that has high performance needs, IBM is your cloud. Security. IBM is the market leader in security. Largest suite of enterprise security products. And we've brought all that to bear as part of our cloud experience. Okay, which means we can bring an end-to-end security story, of course, within the cloud, the public cloud, but also spanning the hybrid cloud and going from infrastructure through application. Key strength, if you have a secure needs for a sensitive workload in the cloud, we have the environment for you. The last part I mentioned is that analytics and data are a critical part of cloud and a key differentiator for IBM. This gives you a sense of the things that we offer in our cloud experience around data and analytics. It includes business intelligence, big data, streaming analytics, all as market-leading products. Oftentimes, we rely and focus on open source technologies, of course, like Hadoop and Apache Spark. We have a whole series of database options, which modern developers choose a whole series of different databases. We have many more than are listed here that we offer. We've made some really important acquisitions over the last year to bolster our storage portfolio. The world's leading object storage company called CleverSafe, and 2 companies that are really bolstering our video technology and capabilities, which increasingly is becoming a part of modern applications. And then finally, we have these incredible data assets. We've had a partnership with Twitter. That data is available in our cloud environment to do very interesting consumer applications. We actually bought the weather company, and there are 2 billion sensors around the world gathering weather data, because there's so many interesting applications for businesses if you understand what's happening with the weather. So where's this all going? When we think about the cloud from a journey perspective, chapter 1, as I said, was about getting that server out from under your feet, and was very infrastructure as a service centric. Where we are today is really in this chapter 2, which is very much about hybrid and about building this next generation of customer application. Where it's moving to, and we're starting to see this happening even more rapidly, I think, than anyone predicted, is it's about these very innovative solutions, whether it's be an Internet of Things solution, powered by cognitive analytics, and increasingly moving up the stack in terms of the value we're bringing clients. And we think that plays very much to the strengths of IBM and the solutions that we have to make part of our cloud experience. So I started with a little bit of a Jeopardy theme, and IBM Watson got its first debut in 2011 on the Jeopardy show. Folks may have seen this many years ago, and it really was the beginning of, wow, artificial intelligence is not just for a bunch of geeks over here. We could do some really fascinating things with it. And since 2011, it has become an incredible phenomenon. In fact, if you look at what the hottest thing happening in Silicon Valley is among venture capitalists, it's artificial intelligence, right? And we are very much at the front of that wave with IBM Watson. Today, you can go into IBM Bluemix, our cloud development environment, and you have access to 33 APIs that you can literally drag and drop and start to use, whether that's speech to text, text to speech, image recognition, sentiment analysis, location analysis, all kinds of machine learning, predictive analytics that have been made very simple and accessible in this next generation cloud environment. It is incredibly disruptive what is happening, and I encourage you to take a look at it because we've really made it simple and accessible, and people are using this stuff today. The most common reason why most common set of APIs in our platform that people are using are actually out of Watson today. A quick customer example of someone who actually has been on this journey, GameStop. If you have a teen at home, you probably know about this store. Unfortunately, the largest retailer for gaming applications in the world. They started several years ago putting their customer-facing website on SoftLayer, kicking that server out from under the desk. 2 years ago, they reinvented their customer experience with a hybrid mobile app built on Bluemix, our cloud development environment. And today, they're working on a Watson-powered application using our very advanced image recognition to really transform how they manage store inventory and operations. Right? This is the journey that we see the market going through and your clients going through as well. So in conclusion, let me just say that our customers are often large enterprises. 48 of the top 50 companies in the world are on the IBM Cloud and using it very significantly in their business. We also support other parts of the market and have a large array of customers, whether they be other mid-sized companies or startups who also are taking advantage of the power of IBM Cloud. And finally, we've been very aggressive around partnering with some very large players, right? And we're eager to expand that ecosystem to a number of other areas in the market, including many of the folks who are here and are part of the Ingram ecosystem. And with that, I want to say thank you for the time. And if we're not talking about opportunities to work together, I hope and invite you to have a conversation with us. Thank you.